The love frequency. What are you vibrating on a daily basis? The love frequency is really a miracle tone that you can tune into. Now, when we're referring to love, we of course are talking about the unconditional love presence that flows within each and every one, representing the love that comes from Source, the Creator, or God per se. So you may ask, how is it that I could, on a day to day basis, remain or keep tuning in into that unconditional love frequency? So, when it comes to just frequency, energy, and vibrations, we see that on a day to day basis, we step into different states. Now, there is such a thing as the 5 to 8 hertz, which puts you in that unconditional love frequency. Now, for most times, we tend to go to, the meditative states of these 5 to 8 hertz. But do you recognize that you could innately put yourself in that love frequency just by tapping in within yourself and simply exuding love? Now, examples: simply going in within and expressing love for yourself. That is putting you in that unconditionally loving 5 to 8 hertz frequency. That is maybe noticing and being grateful for so much around you. We'll start with just the earth herself, Mother Gaia. The plants, the animals, the trees, the elementals, feeling that you are so one with this multi-universe and you have all of this, should I say, living organisms and resources all around you to flow with you and assist you during your life path during this incarnation. You see, this love frequency is so innately within you that you are in fact recognizing that you are truly a love being. Now, there may be times when you could dip a little bit lower in your frequency and go into different states because of, I would say, many circumstances around you. Whether it's an interaction with a person, it could be that that person, is always in a state of conflict and trying to deplete your frequency. But always understand that even though you dip, you always have the opportunity to shift right back because of your very own state of mind, that love is truly always within you and all around you. Now, when we talk about unconditional love, we see that this very love frequency, or should I say this love expression of love and this love language, really is beneficial to you and your well-being. It actually is known to, repair your DNA cells and get you into a better state of your physical, mental, emotional, and even spiritual present. It is said to relax you and, most of all, release stress. So have you ever noticed that when you dip in your frequency, whether it is that you go into a state of just maybe anger, stress, maybe most of all fear, which seems to be the underlying factor that allows you to exit the love frequency, should I say, because it's all around you, what has been put out into this 3D dimension to keep you into a continuous state of fear. But understand that you have the internal power within you to always go back and tap into that love frequency. Like I said, a very good way of doing that is just going into that meditative state and listening to those 5 to 8 hertz meditation. Have you ever noticed when you're listening to music, and most times music are tuned in, at least I would say the 432 hertz, which is the frequency of earth. But if you tap into a higher vibrational music that makes you feel like just being in a state of happiness, bliss, joy, you start feeling the endorphins kicking within you, and you start singing and dancing. And of course, that state puts you into that bliss mode that of course makes you feel such that unconditional love present. Now, love is this beautiful frequency that you want to continue to expand in and exude in, first for yourself, and then, like I said, everything around you, including people around you. But there is such a thing as overgiving, I should say. Now, when does that happen? When someone tries to, should I say, take away certain, whether it is that, okay, they tap into your energy frequency and it basically depletes you, whether it is that they're always wanting attention from you, whether it is that every time you interact with them, they put you in a state like, wow, I'm angry, I don't feel good around this person because this person is just always so, like a negative Nancy. I don't like being around that person. But do you recognize that just because the state of love states that it is in fact the presence of source does not mean that you have to, should I say, tolerate when others are not respecting your boundaries. So there, you actually have to tell yourself anything that does not align in your best interest, you simply eliminate it out of your life. So whether it is that you have to graciously and respectfully let that person know what they're doing, you don't like it, and if they continue being in that state of consciousness, you will quickly eradicate them out of your life. Maybe you just can say, if it's a state, whether it be friends, family, anybody that you have to interact with, you take yourself out of that situation whenever you can. But always realize that you could tap back in. I remember the other day that I had someone just come at me and be like, oh, why are you rolling your eyes at me, when I was just simply being in my own sort of meditative state and trying to get into a higher frequency. And who knows, maybe when that person tried speaking to me, of course I had my headphones on, so at first I was just trying to take it out to even understand what that person was actually saying. I don't know what happened, but it appeared to that person that I had rolled my eyes at them. And of course, in that moment, in that little state of conflict, me trying to explain myself and get my point across, I of course got a little bit irritated with that person. And I had to let them know, like, first of all, you're coming at me in such a defensive way, which I really wasn't even trying to roll my eyes at you. You may have just been having a certain day and you simply try to take that energy that you were having and transfer it onto me. And of course, it happens to the best of us. We will always go there sometimes because, we're living in a universe where the frequencies can alternate so much, whether it's just mindset, emotional body, physical body, spiritual bodies. And I had to alchemize this energy field around me and say, you know what? I'm starting off my day and I actually want my day to go into one where I'm in harmony with myself and the universe. And I had to go back into a state of love and just, first of all, within myself, setting the intention that, wow, I do not want to be in this irritable state. So I started just, feeling more joyful, and maybe even started smiling at that person, and, just putting it out there that, wow, I'm going to transmute this energy and I'm going to get back into this love frequency. And, just by me alchemizing this situation, that person actually came up to me and apologized to me and explained what they were going through. And so sometimes we see that it's not even really about us, it's about that person's own experience and situations that they go through. And sometimes they just take it out on you because you're the person there. And that's how certain energy exchanges happen. But recognize that you are the one in charge of your frequency and your vibrations. And you could always become that great alchemist in your life and learn how to effortlessly transmute that energy. So what I want to say to each and every one of you is that it's very significant right now, in particular, as we're stepping into higher states of consciousness and just wanting to have a great transition in this world, to continuously flow, no matter what day, what circumstances, what experiences you're having, just within yourself. Start being that great alchemist, transmuting the energy within you and all around you, and get back into that love frequency. And you will see, little by little, as within, so without. Once you start expressing that, you will see it all around you. For example, you ever recognize that when you're singing and you're just in that blissful mode, that, for example, the birds start coming around you and tweeting, the wind start blowing in a certain way that just flows with your own rhythm. You just feel such a wonderful love essence all around you. So I really want to say that because I recognize that you could alter the states and energy frequencies around you, even with the people that come into your energetic field. So continue flowing into this love frequency. Continue having these love languages, especially the love language of this great affirmations and positive frequencies of just giving and just flowing into the rhythms of love. And you'll see what a great difference that can be, not just in your life, but in everyone's life around you. And should I say, just the earth's frequency at that.